This is the Jack Murphy Podcast. Here's your host, Jack Murphy.
Fucking dog next door. Damn, I fucking hate that fucking dog. They should just take him to the pound. They don't pay attention to him. They leave him in the backyard. Mm-hmm. Then they got a little puppy that they play with in the front yard. The kids don't even play in the backyard. They play in the front yard. So the fucking dog just fucking, it's like a police siren.
See what I mean, folks? He's angry. He's bitter. The people next door just want a dog. And
No,
John,
you need to let me know when this stupid podcast starts. Quit catching me off guard.
John has 3, and he can't be happy for these people next door. And you're definitely going to get left behind using that kind of language.
I didn't know we were going.
You know who got left behind, John? Nicolas Cage. You might want to call him. He starred in the movie. He got left behind. He was an airplane pilot. And his co-pilot got left. He got left behind. The co-pilot got taken. But anyway, welcome to the podcast and happy Juneteenth Day, everybody.
You know, this whole Juneteenth, can I say something without sounding like a racist?
It's our podcast. You can say whatever you want to, and we're not racist. We're progressive white men.
Right, very much so. I grew up in Alabama, so I've studied Alabama history. It's in our curriculum here.
Right.
I know about the Tuskegee Airmen. I know about the Tuskegee Experiment.
Right.
I know about Harriet Tubman. I know about George Washington Carver, Booker T. Washington, etc., and so forth and so on.
Grew up in Georgia the same way and know all that stuff.
Never in my life.
Went to one of the first integrated schools in America. Always got along with my black brothers and sisters.
They were like, oh, great, we're integrated. Now here comes Jack Murphy to our perfectly good high school.
Exactly.
Okay, so I never heard of Juneteenth till a couple of years ago.
It's pretty new. It's something they thought up. It's pretty new.
I had people. I mentioned this, I guess, 2 or 3 years ago when it became a big thing. I said, what am I missing here? I've never heard the word Juneteenth. And I had 3 or 4 black people get all mad at me and block me.
Well, can I make a suggestion to whoever's in charge of coming up with these holidays? Let's push them all together and consolidate them, all right? Mm-hmm. We got Black History Month. Why don't we put that in June when Juneteenth comes and make it part of Black History Month? Instead of having Black History Month and then months later have Juneteenth.
Because June is Pride Month. Don't forget about that.
And that's the other thing. Why do we have to have a whole month for Pride? Can't we just have a Pride Day? I've said this before. Rob Schneider did. Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, they have to share a day. They only get a half day. Pride gets a whole month. Anyway, it would be better if we could have Black History Month and Juneteenth all together. I propose we move Black History Month to June.
You're such a crusty old buzzard. You know what? If you keep this up, you're going to get left behind.
I'm trying to make it better because it is the date when the slaves were officially freed, I guess, is what we're celebrating.
I didn't know this till 2021. Am I a bad person?
No, because it's like I said, I don't know how long it's been out there, but I don't think I knew exactly what it was till last year. And then on TV, they said today's Juneteenth Day, and then I talked to my neighbor. My next door neighbor is a black man. Him and me are good friends, and he was telling me about it. So
again, and I live in the cradle of Confederacy and have for the majority of my life, and the word Juneteenth does not ring a bell until recently.
All right. So, but you're over your anger about the dog, the bitterness, and
are you over your anger about Juneteenth?
Listen, I have a neighbor like that. But I have a big backyard. I have a fence, and then there's a road with a turn lane in the middle, and then there's another subdivision. And the people that live in that house have a big dog in their backyard, and they leave it outside all the time. And that dog barks day and night. And I'm telling you, I'm not even the next door neighbor, and I get so mad I want to call animal control. I can't imagine their next door neighbors, why they put up with it. Why have a dog if you're just going to put it out in the heat and the cold all the time for it to suffer and bark?
And I know a dog is going to bark. I know they're going to get crazy from time to time, but when it's just a non-stop, and it's startling.
And they don't do anything about it. They don't go out there and go, shut up, or like you do, go out there and curse your dogs out and damn them to hell and everything.
I tell you what, though, other than the dog, she is the nicest neighbor. I live next door to a sister.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever talked to her about it? You say, hey, I love dogs. I've got 3. Yours is driving me crazy. If you don't do something, I'm going to kill you.
Well, I try to do it. I try to attract flies with honey rather than vinegar.
Right.
And I take them cookies. She's got a bunch of kids, and we're very friendly. And I'll even be like, I mean, I go out there and yell at them. I'll be like, shut up, Benji. And they don't care.
Hey, I got an idea for you. Have you seen the thing on TikTok, the little remote control device that makes dogs stop barking? Go to the TikTok shop. It's only
I have 2 of those.
Does it work?
Well, here's the thing. It emits this high frequency sound that will startle the. I have 3 dogs too. So when they go outside and he starts barking, it hurts all their ears.
It startles your dogs too, I see.
And I don't want to do that.
All right.
But she's so nice, and I live next door to a sister, and she is a baby mama, but she's very nice and very quiet. There ain't no barbecues next door. There ain't no. Huh?
She hot?
She's not bad. She's got 5 kids though.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
And so I'm out there talking to her this morning.
Turn off.
And we were having this little chit-chat. She's so nice. Her name is Quandra. And she has like a 1-year-old, maybe a 1.5-year-old baby.
Right.
And she had the front door open so she can keep an eye on them. And this little 1-year-old, he runs out without his diaper on, as boys often do.
Right.
But I got to tell you, Jack, this little 1-year-old, he had a hammer on him. I'm telling you.
Is he a black kid?
Yeah.
That explains it.
You know, like mine.
My grandson, he goes out in the yard. That's his favorite thing. Like they have a special thing in the bathroom where he's, learning to go to the bathroom and everything. But he loves to drop trowel, take his pants totally off, and go out on the back porch and pee.
And me too. And here's the thing, though. I remember my whole life. Mine.
Hey, it's like this.
Yeah, it's like a little acorn. It's like a neosynephrine bottle. If you remember neosynephrine.
But not your next door neighbor's kid.
His was hanging. I'm not lying. It was flopping. I was jealous. Is that weird?
Right. No, it's not weird. It's just truth. That's all.
I've never seen a naked 1.5-year-old baby, but now all others are going to not compare to this one.
Yeah.
He's the standard by which all other naked 1-year-olds are be compared.
I got a couple of things I want to complain. I don't like to complain on the podcast, but there's some things that are bugging me today I want to get off my chest. Number one, I think there should be an organization. I don't want it to be a government organization because it would totally get political. But I am so sick of on the local news, the national news, and on social media. I am so sick of hearing the term breaking news now. It's never breaking news. It's just regular old story. Like, to me, a breaking news is we're getting word of a plane crash in Los Angeles, or a volcano has erupted, or a nuclear weapon has been That's breaking news. But if they go say breaking news and they go, Congress voted on a bill and it's still deadlocked, we'll be back in a minute. That's not breaking news.
I saw one this morning and it was like, breaking news.
Yeah.
The president says he's going to think about whether or not we're going to attack Iran in 2 weeks.
They have ruined the term breaking. Now, when they do it, I don't pay attention because I know it's probably not really breaking news. It's just boring news.
It's the newsroom who cried wolf.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to have to come up with some new term to get my attention.
I started seeing breaking news a lot. And the crawl at the bottom of the screen right around 9/11. Remember when that went on, and you kind of wanted to know.
That's when it really got bad. And Fox News is as bad as anybody. They go, breaking news, and the big banner goes by, and it's not breaking news. It's just regular news.
Breaking news: Beyonce's new album debuts at #1. It's always some fluff.
And now you have all these buffoons on social media, on TikTok and Facebook and everything, and they put on little headphones and they have a microphone and they're in their mom's basement and they go, we have breaking news tonight, and it's something you saw on the news 6 hours before. There's nothing breaking about it. You're just repeating what you saw on the news 6 hours ago. I think that should be against the law.
I tell you what, though, those people get more than 40 views a video.
You're not talking about our videos, are you?
No, I'm just making a comment.
All right, so I'm sick of that. And here's another thing. I'm tired of people posting this on TikTok and Facebook and everywhere else. It's these liberals. The minute you see them, I have libdar. That's like gaydar, only I can spot liberals just by looking at the people.
Can you spot gay liberals?
Yeah, I can.
Do you just find a liberal?
It's libigaydar. But anyway, these people come on and they go, they're sitting there like this, and they have all their piercings and their multicolored hair, and they go, I have a question for you, MAGA. Or I have a question for you, Republicans. And I just flip right then the minute I see that, because I know it's going to be some stupid. It's a question like, what are you going to tell your kids when they come home and your next door neighbors have been deported? I'd say, hey, one of them are real nice, but they were here illegally, and they got sent back to where they're from, Nicaragua.
Can I expound on your TikTok annoyances?
Yeah, go ahead.
This whole thing where people are constantly doing this when they're talking, and they go, take a look at this.
I hate this.
Yeah.
It's
Please,
like a new thing.
Yeah.
They have to clap like they're trying to get your attention. It just turns me off.
I just can't stand when women do this. And
I
they're
hate
always,
it.
I will have to scroll past even a good video. If the girl's doing this, I'm gone.
I can't stand it.
We're just crusty and bitchy today, aren't we?
I don't care. I'm going to get it all out of me today.
You should be happy. It's Juneteenth.
I'll tell you something else that really makes me angry, and you see this all the time. And to me, it just, again, shows how out of step and delusional some of our politicians are. And it's in a lot of different states. Some states are much worse than others. California, New Jersey, New York, Illinois. Let's say you go on vacation, John, and you go down to Panama City Beach for a week, and you come back, and somebody else is living in your house.
Oh, God, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, they broke into your house, and they're living in your house, and now I don't know what Alabama's like, but guess what? In a lot of states, you know what happens? You're screwed.
Yeah, squatters' rights.
You can't just call the police and say, hey, these people broke into my house while I was on vacation. They're living there. Come get them out. Sorry, that's a civil matter. You have to go to court.
And they say they give them at least a 30-day notice, which the people will destroy your house
and eat all your food and ruin your furniture. But it can take months and months to get them out. Well, right now, there's a big debate going on. I think it's in the Texas House, and there was some member of the Texas House of Representatives, and he's talking about the fact that he goes, I can't even believe that Democrats have spent the last 3 hours arguing for the squatters' rights over the homeowners' rights. The homeowner, who, by the way, pays the property taxes.
I don't get it.
Who pays the HOA, who pays the utilities, and the Democrats are protecting the squatters, who are usually, by the way, drug dealers or drug addicts or something else. Let me see if I can get this to play.
Senate Bill 38 going to the Texas House seeks to keep squatters out of our house. Democrats have fought for 2 hours. I don't even know how to say this, for the right of people that don't belong in your house to stay in your house in the event that you leave for a month or two and a squatter goes in and takes your house over. Democrats are fighting for the ability of those people to be able to stay in your house. Going to the Texas House seeks to keep squatters.
They're fighting for the squatter to stay in your house. And you see these really, really left-wing liberal people, they come on social media and they go, and they have all their piercings and their purple hair and everything, they're
I love that look.
My libdar goes off, and they say, we don't have a housing shortage in this country. We have plenty of abundant housing. There are millions of houses sitting empty because
give those
rich
to the
people,
homeless.
Yeah, they want you to just give them away. And I just go, hey, somebody's paying a mortgage on that. Somebody's running a business, or they're working 2 or 3 jobs to pay for it. What right do you have to take it? Makes me so mad I could spit.
I saw a lady in New York City. Her parents died and willed her their house. Had a nice house, and so she went to go into the house. Doors locked. There's people. The locks have been changed. There's people living there. She actually came and brought the sheriff and had them evicted. But then they, of course, know the law. And they went and got some kind of injunction, and that cost this lady $100,000.
Right.
just to get her childhood home back from these squatters.
You know, you can see them on YouTube. There are people that document these things, and they'll have door ring cameras where these people will come up and they'll go, they've got cameras. And they'll go around, take down all the cameras, break in, change the locks, move in. And again, that's how they survive. They just go from house to house to house doing this.
And so anybody who's a snowbird or has a vacation home or a lake
Yeah.
home, they're really at risk. Now, I don't know how deep they do that in Alabama. We're a very backward state, and it's good in a lot of ways because they don't put up with a lot of shenanigans like that. But New York...
Wait a minute. Hold on. Since when is that backward that you own a house that you're making the payments on, you're paying the property tax, you're doing the upkeep? Since when is it backward that people don't just get to break in and live in it?
No, I just mean that's a backward law, and Alabama doesn't go for that. We may go too far in the other direction, but some of that stuff doesn't play here.
Well, luckily they have you, a progressive white man,
Very
living there
progressive.
to keep
My
keep
neighbor's
things
baby
going.
is hung.
Yeah, you've got a future porno star neighbor baby.
I got it going on.
What's his name again?
I don't know. LaShawn, LaDerek, I don't know what his name is.
What's her name? What's the mom's name?
Quandra.
Yeah, when you said that, I figured it was a African American child. Quandra.
See how progressive I am?
Yeah.
Where I live across the street from some Mexican nationals.
Yeah, listen, I live like in an international neighborhood. I've got my best friend in the neighborhood is my next door neighbor. It's a black man, him and his wife. They're wonderful. They're retirees from Maryland. Across the street, we've got Chinese people. 2 doors down, we've got a house. I think it's full of Mexican workers because they turn over all the time.
Right.
And, the whole neighborhood, multicultural.
I have no problem with that as long as people are quiet and respectful. I don't care what color you are.
I don't either. My neighbor across the street, Kane, I think he's Chinese.
Got to be a white guy with a name like Kane.
Kane. He's Chinese. And
is his last name Kim?
I don't know his last name, but when they moved
You're really good friends.
Well, no, I went over and introduced myself. His wife speaks broken English, and he understands English. And every time I come home, if he's out in the yard, he'll go, "Hi, Jack, how are you?" I said, "Great, Kane, how are you doing?" And we go over, and I try to have a conversation with him. I can't understand a word he's saying, so I do a lot of this. Mm-hmm.
Next time you talk to him, just tell him you're sorry about Nagasaki, and you'll be cool.
That's Japan.
Oh, okay.
He's Chinese.
I live across the street from some Mexicans, and I swear they have to be illegals because I live in small house neighborhood, so there's got to be 11 cars in this 1,000.
Same way with the one I'm talking about. These are big houses. They're 4 or 5 bedroom houses. And there's 19 cars there. And the cars...
And they are the quietest people. They don't want any problems.
These are too. And the cars change every couple of weeks.
Yeah, it goes from El Camino to Gran Torino and then back to El Camino.
I guess they get deported or they get better jobs. I don't know. But
as long as they're quiet, I have no problem with the hombres.
They don't bother me, and they don't have any dogs out in their yard barking. That's all you care about.
That's all I care about.
Hey, on a serious note, there's been another big data breach. Have you heard about this?
No, what now?
16 billion login credentials have been stolen, including Apple accounts. Apple accounts.
Listen, what are they going to do? I mean, they talk about how the banks, if people have your information, they can access this. Look, there are safety measures in place. Nobody's going to be able to clean you out.
Well,
not
that's
the end of the
world. Have you seen this guy? There's a guy on TikTok all the time. He was the biggest mortgage fraud scammer there was. He went to federal prison, and now he's doing commercials for like that LifeLock. Don't let it happen to you. Somebody,
yeah, that guy.
That guy. He's
really?
on it all. They're hiring the criminals to do the commercials to advertise how to stop what they were doing. That should be against the law. They shouldn't be allowed to do that.
A lot of times corporations will hire former criminals to help them head security because they know how
that Tom Hanks movie where Leonardo DiCaprio played that guy.
Catch Me If You Can, yes.
Frank, what's his name, where he did all that stuff.
Abagnale.
Yeah,
Abagnale.
He's still out there doing interviews and still works consulting for banks and whatnot.
Frank Abagnale.
Yeah.
Circle gets the square. Point goes to Johnny.
Johnny, you're always. I used to could remember those names and those movie names, but not anymore. I'm getting older.
Actually, you've always been pretty bad at it. Back when I did.
I used to be good at it, but
not when I worked with you in '93 or '03 in Greensboro. Me and the other co-host would look at each other every time you would misspeak. We didn't want to always be interrupting or correcting you.
Well, the thing was, you guys were talking about current young people that I didn't know about.
Right.
I would bring up stuff older than that and know all the people, and you guys would have no idea what I was talking about.
I think we're all that to a degree.
That's just generational. That's not losing my mind.
We're all that way.
That.
Plus, you are losing it a little bit.
Well, I have made a really big discovery on the TikTok. You know, I'm big on the TikTok. I don't.
Yes.
Let me update my.
By
the way, if you're watching the podcast right now or listening, please like and subscribe. I can't overemphasize how important that is.
We're going for 60 views on today's video, and I think if we pull that off, we can nab another subscriber or two.
You know, the funny thing is, I've started posting my shorts, my walk in the woods that I do. Some of them have like 1,500 views. I don't get it. They'll get 1,500 views. The podcast will get 5.
The one you did today about smoking on the trail, I totally felt that because I smoke while I walk.
All right. So right now on TikTok, I have 4,392 followers, 18,600 views and likes. Pretty strong.
Have you gotten paid from it yet? Do you get paid for those kind of views? You got to be like a star.
I have to get to 10,000. I'm at
10,000 subscribers?
Yeah, followers. I have to be at 10,000 followers, and then I might get paid. But I'm not in it for the money, John. You're
in it for the art.
I want to serve the people. That's why I'm here.
It's your craft.
But I want to. I found this lady, young woman, on TikTok, and she is full of wisdom.
Good. I could use some wisdom.
She's full of wisdom, and I felt sorry for her, too, because I watched one of her videos. I won't play it today, but she was talking about Father's Day, and she said, I don't talk about this much because she said, I haven't seen my father in 20 years. I don't know where he is.
Those are the best girls to date, girls with daddy issues.
We have no contact whatsoever.
Perfect.
But let me see let me find it. I
love a girl who's damaged with a checkered past and daddy issues. Preferably a barbecue waitress.
Oh, here she is. Here she is right here. Hold on. Let me bring the volume up. Now I want you to listen to this young lady. Can you hear it? No, I got no sound. What's wrong with the sound?
Right-hand side of the screen. Pop it up.
I am. Nothing's happening. Dang it.
That's a learning curve. We're trying to figure out this new platform.
Yeah. I'm going to have to do an edit here.
You keep screwing them like this, we're going to drop down to 149 subscribers.
Well, anyway, I'm not going to be
catch it on the next one. TikTok ain't going anywhere.
Oh, I have to cut that whole section out. So, John, one of my favorite actresses, talented lady, I think she's highly underrated.
Whoopi Goldberg.
No.
Oh.
Can't stand Whoopi Goldberg. Highly underrated actress. I think she should have been much bigger than she was.
The girl that played Jan on Brady Bunch.
No, she's going to narrate a new true crime series called A Killer Among Friends, Miss Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Ooh, I had such a crush on her in the 90s.
Super hot.
She made me think impure thoughts.
All the time. I can't think about her because I don't want to get left behind. And if you think about her too much, you'll get left behind. So.
According to you, I'm already left behind for the way I talk to my neighbor's dog. So I'm gonna hang out here and enjoy the Jennifer Love Hewitt Fest.
So I can't wait for that to come on. I'll let you know the exact hour that's going to show.
Thanks, man.
So as we head into the weekend, I know a lot of you on a hot weekend like this, you're waiting for that work day to get over, that 5 o'clock to come around so you can get out of the office and get home, and probably going to have a big barbecue maybe tonight or tomorrow, Sunday over the weekend, and maybe cook out, drink a few cold beverages, adult beverages out there. Well, I've got some good news for you today from the United States government. The U.S. government is updating its guidance on alcohol. And they're
meaning they're telling us how much we need, or we should cut back, or what?
Well, they used to have that rule that you should limit yourself to 1 or 2 drinks a day. If you're going to do that, I say, what's the point?
Sure. My dad would say 1 or 2 6-packs a day, 1 or 2. He wasn't sure what the 1 or 2 was.
That's what they recommended, 1 or 2 drinks a day. And now an updated dietary guideline for Americans will be released in the coming weeks, and they're nixing that altogether. They're not saying there's any less danger to your health, by the way.
So they're saying they're not making any recommendations for any amount of alcohol?
Now that I read this, maybe it's the cynic in me, but it seems to me that the alcohol industry has gotten to the government regulators. They're not saying it's healthy for you or any worse for you. They're just eliminating the guideline. They just say drink in moderation.
That's a subjective term, drink in moderation. What's moderate for you may not be moderate for me.
What you're planning, if I'm out on my back deck by with a friend or two and we're drinking beer, what's moderation? And they always say that in those commercials. Please drink responsibly. What's responsibly?
What's responsibly?
Bad for you. It's all bad for you. When do you stop?
And I tell you what, in the next 50 to 100 years, these alcohol companies may be gone. Nobody's drinking anymore, and it's because the younger generation is way more educated on the dangers of certain things than we were.
I wouldn't say they're not drinking anymore, but I have noticed that a lot of, like my son, he was like a bourbon snob for a couple of years, and he's pretty, he'll drink one shot of some expensive bourbon, but that's it. He doesn't do a lot of drinking at all.
I'll have a couple of beers over the summer, and that's about it for me.
I don't drink beer because it makes you fat, and I'm fat enough. If I'm going to drink, I'll have like a vodka soda.
Are you a regular drinker?
Well, I'll tell you, Friday is my day.
We better get out of here.
Friday. So if we could wrap this up, that'd be great.
Yeah, you're no problem. I'm with you.
Friday's usually my day because the work week's over, and I don't necessarily I get up at the same time and go walk every day anyway, but if I'm going to have a couple of drinks, it's going to be on Friday. I like to have about, what they say, one's not enough, three's too many when you have a martini or vodka soda. So I have 2 or 3.
That's something about Friday, even although my work schedule has scaled way back in the last few years, there's just still something about Friday afternoon and that feeling you get.
And
chill out weekend.
John's not a drinker. He has other medicinal products that he uses, some sort of mushroom drink. That's what Willie Nelson is selling, a mushroom drink.
I dabble in PCP, not too much, though. Just a little bit. Take the edge off.
Or those ayahuasca. Have you heard about that?
Oh, yeah. I'd like to try some of that stuff before.
Well, you can, but you have to go to South America to do it.
Now, what's the one they have out west?
Peyote.
Peyote. I want to try that. I saw Tony Soprano do it once.
Peyote's just like doing acid. But ayahuasca is supposedly something that really enlightens you.
Yeah, it's supposed to cleanse and become one with yourself and your soul, and you become whatever.
Yeah. So do you have any big plans for the weekend?
I'll probably hang out and maybe have some soda. And I have no plans. My plan, I get more excited. I get as excited that I have the whole weekend to be alone as other people get about getting to spend the weekend with their friends. People who get excited about going out and having dinner and hanging out with their friends, they get excited about that. I get excited that I can be alone and not talk to anybody.
Because you hate people and you're bitter and you're a loner.
No, I'm definitely a loner, but I don't hate people. People also always seem to confuse that.
Why do you not want to be around people if you don't like people?
I don't know. I've always, even as a child, as a kid, I was never really in tune with other kids. I've always been kind of one of those just weirdo lone wolves.
And why would you ever get married 3 times knowing that you don't like to be around people?
Well, you fight it. You think something's wrong with me. I should get with the program. I should get with life. I should want to go out and hang out. And I just don't. Even when I lived in Greensboro, I lived there for 3 months, and the only thing I remember about Greensboro is Battleground Avenue and Bojangles, because that got me home. There was a Bojangles on it, and I would sit in my apartment all weekend long. I never learned anything about the city. I never left the house except to go to work.
Sad.
It's not sad. I'm very happy this way. I'm sad when I have to go out and socialize.
Well, I'm dog sitting this week for a friend who dropped off this really goofy dog. I took it on the walk with my 2 dogs today, and it's terrible.
Is it a stinky doggy? Did they give it a bath?
It's bathed. It's some kind. It's like Murph. It's some kind of something doodle, but it's one of those dogs that's like terrified. It puts its head down. It does like this, and it's in terrible shape. We went for a 5-mile walk today. I thought it was going to have a heart attack and die.
You can't make an old fatso doggy do 5 miles, Murph, just like you couldn't ask a 75-year-old guy to go walk 5 miles.
He's going to be here. I told the owner if he's going to be here, he's going to be walking 5 miles a day in the woods with me and my dogs. Fine. He'll do fine. He didn't do fine.
You're going to send that doggy home in a body bag? Little doggy body bag?
He might. But anyway, that's what I got to do all weekend, take care of the dog.
Well, I've enjoyed this week of podcasts, and I hope people will like and subscribe and find us on all platforms.
I really have. Let me just, as we sign off, John, let me just check the stats on the podcast, okay?
All right.
Let me just bring up the YouTube channel. It'll only take me a second here.
It's growing every day. By leap and bound.
View channel. Here we go. Oh, this is so disappointing. We have 149 subscribers. The goal was 150. Can somebody out there, just one more person before the end of the day, subscribe to the channel? I wanted to get to 150 subscribers by the end of the week.
I'll go get Quandra to subscribe next door.
Fine. Even her little son. He can subscribe twice. Anyway, thank you so much for watching the Jack Murphy podcast. You have a great weekend, a great Juneteenth, and we'll be back next week.
Thank you. We ended the week on a great note about a baby cock.
Thanks for watching the Jack Murphy podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Go ahead, ring it. Get alerts when a new episode drops, and tell your friends about the Jack Murphy podcast. But only the cool friends, please. Tune in next time for another episode of the Jack Murphy podcast.